Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. I was re-listening to one conversation between Govinda Dasi and Prabhupada. Last week I was telling the Russian class. Prabhupada was fighting against that there's no instinct. So he said that in the same way that when you're young you live in a house, and then when you get older, 20 years later, you may come back to that house. So Prabhupada used the words privy. When you want to go to the privy, to the washroom, you don't have to ask anyone. You know where it is. So it's based on past experience. So Prabhupada said there's no instinct. There's only the super soul and there's past experience. Like when the child is born, he looks for the breast of the mother, Prabhupada says, immediately. Because he's been in so many bodies, he knows he has to look for the breast. So it's nothing about instinct. It's based on past experience. Like Prabhupada says, in the same way, when you throw some bread on the ground, then all the birds are coming. Somewhere or another the bird, no, they're all coming for the bread. So he said the scientists, they say this is instinct. And Prabhupada said that's not instinct. That Krishna in their heart telling them that go there, there's bread. You must come and eat that bread. That's how he maintains all the living entities. So Govindasi said Prabhupada was just banging in this point because we're so used to hear this philosophy, instinct, like luck. There's no luck. There's a super soul and there's past experience. So I thought that was a nice conversation. Today the verse is on relationship, and Prabhupada had also different relationship with his disciples. He was also very funny. There's one story that Bajinarayan Prabhu or Maharaj gives. When they were buying the Fisher Mansion, in Detroit, so there was a big picture when you came in of naked women bathing. So all the brahmacharis and the sannyasis, they went in, and he says they weren't looking, they just wanted to be polite. And then Prabhupada was just looking at it. And he says, very nicely done. Prabhupada is very funny like this. You know the story with Yogeshwar Prabhu. Prabhupada is telling how Bengali women, they have such beautiful black hair. And Yogeshwar told them, he says, yeah, Krishna has very beautiful black hair. And Prabhupada said, we're not speaking about Krishna, we're speaking about Bengali women now. Like when this disciple told Prabhupada that I fell in Maya. He said, Prabhupada, he said, you're always in Maya, you fall in Krishna sometimes. So this is the 6th canto, chapter 19, entitled the Pumsavana Ritualistic Ceremony, and it's text 5. Yata Tvam Kipaya Bhutva Tejasa Mahimojasa Jushta Isha Gunai Sarvas Tato Si Bhagavan Prabhu Yata Twan Kipaya Bhutva Tejasa Mahima Jasa Jushta Isha Gunai Sarvesh Tato Si Bhagavan Prabhu Yata Tvam Kipaya Bhutva Tejasa Mahima Jasa Jushta Isha Gunai Savas Tato Si Bhagavan Prabhu Yata Tvam Kipaya Bhutva Tejasa Mahimos Jasa Jushta Isha Gunai Saves Tato Si Bhagavan Prabhu Mataji's. Anyone else? Yata, as. Tvam, you. Kripaya, with mercy. Bhutva, with opulences. Tejasa, with prowess. Mahima ojasa, with glory and strength. Jushta, endowed. Isha, O my Lord. Gunai, with transcendental qualities. Sarvai, all. Tata, therefore. Asi, you are. Bhagawan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Prabhu, the Master. Translation, O my Lord, just wait 1 second. O my Lord, because you are endowed with causeless mercy, all opulences, all powers, and all glory, strength, and transcendental qualities, you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Master of everyone. Responsively, O my Lord, because you are endowed with causeless mercy, all opulences, all powers, all glories, strength, and transcendental qualities. You are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Master of everyone. He's saying about causeless mercy because here Prabhupada says the most important aspect of the Supreme Lord's self-sufficiency, this is pretty far. The Lord is self-sufficient. What is the most important aspect of that is that he depends on the devotee. Imagine you're self-sufficient. How do you use your self-sufficiency? You want to become dependent. Think about it. When you're dependent, you don't want to be dependent, right? You want to be independent. He's totally self-sufficient. What does he want to do? Become dependent. And that, Prabhupada says, is the causeless mercy of the Lord. So that's the relationship here. You're endowed with causeless mercy. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Jai. In this verse, the word Tato Shri Bhagavan Prabhu means, therefore you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Master of everyone. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is endowed with all 10 opulence. Six opulences. In 6 opulences in full. And moreover, he extremely kind to his devotee. Although he is full in himself, he nonetheless wants all the living entities to surrender unto him so that they may engage in his service. Thus, he becomes satisfied. Although he is full in himself, he nonetheless becomes pleased when his devotees offers him pacham pushpam palam toyam, a leaf, flower, food, or water in devotion. Sometimes, the Lord, as a child of Mother Yashoda, requests his devotee for some food as if he were very hungry. Actually, Prabhupada says at one point, he says, Mother Yashoda is telling him, eat, because you're going to die if you don't eat. I got this morning, Nectar of Devotion. She's telling him, you're going to die if you don't eat. It's God, Krishna. So he says that he accepts food from Mother Yashoda as if he were very hungry. Sometimes he tells his devotee in a dream that his temple and his garden are now very old and that he cannot enjoy them very nicely. Thus he requests the devotee to repair them. Sometimes he is buried in the earth and as if unable to come out of himself. This is the Gopal deity, yeah? And other examples. He requests his devotee to rescue him. Sometimes he requests his devotee to preach his glories all over the world, although he alone is quite competent to perform this task. So that's Prabhupada, right? They asked Prabhupada why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu only preached in India. He said, because he gave me the rest of the world. Huh? It's not that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu couldn't preach, but he wanted to do it through his devotee. And that was Prabhupada. Therefore, the relationship of the Lord with his devotees is extremely confidential. Only the devotee can perceive how the Lord, although full in himself, depends on his devotee for some particular work. This is explained in Bhagavad Gita 11:33, where the Lord tells Arjuna, Nimitta matram bhava savya sachin. O Arjuna, merely be an instrument in the fight. Lord Krishna had the competence to win the battle of Kurukshetra. But nonetheless, he induced his devotee Arjuna to fight and become the cause of victory. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was quite competent enough to spread his name and mission all over the world, but still, he depended upon his devotee to do his work. So Prabhupada was very humble. He didn't say, depended on me. Because Prabhupada always thought that it's all my guru's work, Bhakti Siddhanta. When Prabhupada came to Mayapur, a lot of the Gaudiya Math sannyasis were, I don't know how you want to call it, but they were. Anyway, they didn't come and see him at the airport because they sent some junior devotees, because Jayapataka must tell that story, that they, devotees were saying, you senior to him in initiation, you shouldn't go see him. And then they criticized him later, he didn't go see Bhakti Siddhanta's place. And Prabhupada said, what do they think? I just see Bhakti Siddhanta's place when I go. My guru is always in my heart. So he always put on his guru. So Prabhupada is truly humble. He's not thinking he did it. He's always thinking his spiritual master and the parampara. Concerning all these points, the most important aspect of the Lord's self-sufficiency is that he is dependent on his devotee. It's amazing, huh? This is called his causeless mercy. The devotee who has perceived this causeless mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead by realization can understand the master and the servant. O my Lord, because you endowed with causeless mercy all opulences, all prowess and all glories, strength and transcendental qualities, you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the master of everyone. Yatatvam kripaya bhutva tejasa mahimo jasa drushta isha gunai savit tatoshi bhagwan prabhu. Am jnana timanandasya gyananjana shalakaya chakshur mitam jena tasmai shri gurave. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Shtapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupakadamayam Tatati Swabadantikam. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Vanshakal Paturubhyacha Kripasinubhyaivacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nivishesha Shunyavadi Pachatiteshtarine. So you never see Krishna alone. Sometimes you go in Indian houses and there's just one Krishna there. So you think it looks weird. It's like Krishna's, Prabhupada says as a joke, he says, you never saw Krishna smoking in pictures, no? You never see him smoking. So in the same way, you never see Krishna alone. Even in the Bhagavatam, all the stories, he's always either with the gopis or he's with, his friends. They go to the Jamuna, they steal the clothes of the gopis. When he's not with the gopis, he's going to be with Radharani. He's with Arjuna on the battlefield. When he's in Dwarka, he's always in different palaces. And then he's always either playing with his sons or speaking with his wife, or doing some activity. It's not possible. You cannot see Krishna alone. Nityo nityanam shitanash eko bauda yo vidati kaman. So there's one person, and from all the other people, everyone comes. So Krishna has created all this just for his enjoyment. Even Prabhupada says that his names, he doesn't have, first he said he has many names, and then he says he doesn't have many names, he has many relationships. Because even think of most of your names, like my name Nrsinghananda. That's the relationship between Prahlad and Nrsingadev. You speak Govinda, the relationship between the cows and Krishna. Gopinath, the master of the gopis. Nanda Nandana, Nanda Dulal, Yashoda Nandana. All his name, most of his name is just his relationships. It's not possible. Krishna has relationship. He enjoys through his relationships. And this verse speaks about how he actually deals with his relationships. Now in the mature world, we also have relationships, but they're not tasty. At least they don't last long. They wither away. Prabhupada gives the example of the businessman. He works all week. And at the end of the week, he's just tired of his business dealings and relationship. And on the weekend, he just wants to enjoy. And when the weekend's finished, he forgets again, and he gets back into his business dealings. And then the weekend comes, he goes back. So it's boom, boom, boga, tyaga, like these grandfather clocks, you know? These big clocks, it goes boom, boom, boom. So one day renunciation, one day is enjoyment. Like my sister, when she used to go on a diet, one day salad, one day chocolate, one day salad, one day chocolate. Even you see this with newer devotees. One day they said, I'm going to get up 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to read the books, I'm going to go chant. They do this for a few days and then, whoop, starts down. And it's boga tyaga, because the determination is not that strong. So in the material world, you see that, these relationships, they're boga tyaga. Oh, I want to renounce, I want to give up. Now I want to enjoy, I want to give up. Like sometimes men, they're thinking, I want to leave, I want to become sannyas. But they're not ready, they're like in the tyaga stage. But then they'll go back to the boga stage. So it comes and goes. That is material relationship because of the temporary natures. So even in the material world, Prabhupada says we can understand all this based on our material experiences. Like the closest relationship or the love that Krishna has for that one has for the love that we have for Krishna, or the love between Krishna and the devotees, is we can see it by the love of the mother for the child in the material world. But just think about it. The husband loves his wife, and the children loves the parents. The kids love the teachers. The fan, like the stars, the musicians, the actors, they also have love for them. So these are all loves, but they're all different loves. And that is what is rasa, taste. They all have different tints, different colors. The love that the husband has for his wife is different from the love that he has for his children, or the children has for him. These are the things, there's rasa, relationship. Like in the spiritual world, Arjuna loves Krishna, but he doesn't love Krishna the same way that the gopis, they love Krishna. The cow loves Krishna, the grass loves Krishna, but they don't love Krishna the same way that Arjuna loves Krishna, or Daruka, the servant, loves Krishna, the chariot driver. So they're all loves, but they're all different taints. That's what they call rasa. So there's 12 kinds of rasa. So there's 5 principal rasas which are permanent, like a mutual relationship. Then you have servant relationship. Then you have the friendly and the parent and the conjugal relationship. Actually, Prabhupada explained that Krishna has come, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to teach us that confidential relationship. No one had spoken before of that relationship, conjugal relationship. But this is the 5 base rasas. So all of them have love, but they're all in different colors. They're not in the same way. They're tainted differently, different types of love. And then you have above that, you have 7 other rasas which come and go. Like for example, Bhishmadev, Duryodhana, Krishna arranged for Duryodhana to insult him. He said, you know, you're not actually fighting, you're not actually trying to kill the Pandavas, because if you wanted to kill the Pandavas, they would have been killed already. So that obviously that put up his ego. He had 5 arrows, 1 for each Pandavas. Duryodhana took them, and Krishna to Arjuna. Arjuna stole the arrows. So Bhishmadev knew, oh, Krishna's arranging. He said, today, either Krishna is going to break his vow, or Arjuna's going to die. So when he went on the battlefield, he was so fierce, that Arjuna was going to die. So what did Krishna do? He took the wheel, and he was so angry. And that face of Krishna angry with the hair scattered, with perspiration on his forehead, that was the pleasure of Bhishmadev. Because he was serving Bhishma in servitude and chivalry, in fighting spirit. That was his relationship. The relationship that Krishna enjoyed with Bhishmadev, Bhishmadev enjoyed with Krishna. So you have different relationship, and they, like for example, the gopis, Krishna comes and knocks on the door, and the gopis say, who is it? It's Shyam. He said, we don't want any rain here, you go. Because cloud, Shyam, blue cloud. So that was in anger. That's another one of the rasas, anger. And there's also humor. When Krishna was young with his father, this mendicant came and he had a bag. And Krishna told him, I can't go. Krishna said, he's going to put me in the bag and take me away. Or his friend told him, open your mouth. I'll give you a sweet with yogurt. He opens his mouth. What does he put in the mouth? Flour. The humor, laughing. So these are different rasas that are mixed with the primary rasas. These are the relationships that we see here. Krishna wants to have fun. Now we also want to have fun, but we're just on the wrong stage. We're in the material stage and it doesn't work. It doesn't. The only way for it to work is to actually, like for example, my children, they get some money every week. And what do? Sometimes they buy me something. A nice relationship. I'm not the controller anymore. I'm not the supporter anymore. They're supporting me. They're buying something for me. Or sometimes we would eat grapes and my daughter, she would give me one grape. What is the pleasure of the parents? Brahmacharis, you don't miss anything. I'm just speaking from a Grihastha point of view. But the relationship is there, that my daughter is feeding me. Or sometimes with the young hands, when I had pain in my back, they would give me massage. They helping me. Or my wife was sick at one point, and my son, 3 years old, would carry her. Come. I carry you. I help you. These are the relationship that the Lord is enjoying. Obviously, we can see it from our relationship with our children or with others. But this is what Krishna is enjoying. Krishna is putting his shoes of his father on his head. And he's carrying that like that. Oh, and the father is very happy. He's carrying my shoes. This is what Krishna is looking for. He's looking for us to relate with him and to enjoy with him. He's waiting for us to do that. And that's why he's doing so much effort that we should go back. But he can't force us. If someone puts a gun to your head and say, you love me now, there's no love. It's not possible. It has to come out of realization. So we're here for billions of lifetimes going back and forth. Krishna's in the heart. He sends the devotees. He sends so many things. And he's trying to make arrangements because he wants us back. So imagine, there's billions. You can't count how many living entities are existing in the world. And Krishna has one relationship with every one of these living entities. Like we have relationships with different type of people. But he has with everyone. And he's present with them in their heart, or he's present face to face with them. Either there's Maya or there's Krishna. There's no Maya, you see Krishna. The Bhagavad Gita says that whenever you control, the mind is controlled, the super soul is already reached. What does that mean? Prabhupada says that the relationship between the yogi and Krishna, what is it? And the super soul. He speaks and the super soul advises him. Prabhupada said that is the relationship between the yogi and the super soul. Because when the mind is controlled, you don't hear the mind anymore. So what are you going to hear? Krishna. Krishna is always there. He's always speaking to us. But we have these, there's always these waves, stopping. Krishna speaking. He says when Arjuna was on the battlefield, he told him, I'm fighting, you're not fighting. You're shooting the arrows, but I'm the one, through your senses, it's going through. So that is the relationship. Hey, I'm lost. I'm buried under the ground. Can you take me out? And Krishna enjoys that. The same way that we may enjoy with our children different types of relationship, or with our friends different types of relationship. Although he's happy to be honored, awe and veneration. Like for example, when Nanda Maharaj came out of the jail with his wife Devaki, immediately they offered obeisances and they started glorifying him. And Krishna didn't like that. So he covered them with Yogamaya. And immediately, like Mother Yashoda, she opened his mouth and she saw the universal form. But immediately she got covered. Krishna, when Arjuna saw the universal form, he said, oh, my Lord, I must have done so many offenses to you, thinking that you were my friend and all this, but I see who you are. Krishna didn't like that. He covered him. That's not what he wants. He wants to enjoy these different relationships. Obviously, these are advanced position for us in the sense that we're still practicing and we can't think ourselves more advanced. But this is what is waiting for us. What we're trying to experience here, we will experience over there. I always remember that point Prabhupada said, one day you put your hand on Krishna, you'll put your hand on Krishna's shoulder, and he will put your hand on your shoulder, and you will see him face to face. Prabhupada would always see Krishna. Prabhupada Tamal Krishna Maharaj tell that story, and it was confirmed in the 40th anniversary book by, what's her name? The disciple. Yeah, Deva Shakti. How Prabhupada went to Dwarkadish, and Dwarkadish said, you have to go to India. Prabhupada said, I'm not going to India. I'm staying here. I'm developing so many temples. No, he said, you're going. Okay, I'm going. Krishna told him, he spoke to him. Who else is going to speak to you if your mind's not speaking to you? Krishna is there. We're here, he's there. We're not far, we're just this distance. We're thinking we're this, but actually we're here. So whenever the mind doesn't speak, when the body consciousness goes away, we understand, we're here and we see. So Krishna will speak. So he told Tamal Krishna Maharaj that I could not understand why they sent me to India. But he said, later I understood that acquiring the Vrindavan temple was 10 times more important than any temple in the West. So Krishna is speaking to him. My favorite is Bhagavad story. He said that one day they were coming in Bombay, they were coming from preaching, so he went to see, they would come and see Prabhupada at the end of the day. And then he was preaching to life members, so is it Bhagwan? No, it's Bhagwat, sorry. So Bhagwat opened the door, he saw Prabhupada preaching, he left. Prabhupada said, no, come. So he sat, he was waiting. Then Tamal Krishna Maharaj came, same thing. He was leaving, he said, no, come and sit. So they're waiting, and then they leave. And the Prabhupada said, if you don't read my books, how you will preach? If you don't hear. And they said, I read my own books. And there's a lot of instances, Prabhupada would listen sometimes his lectures, his bhajans. He would read the books. So Prabhupada said, when I write the books, I don't really write the books. He said, what happens is Krishna sits here and he tells me what to write and then I do it. So, because he's always speaking with Krishna. So that is the reality. This is what's awaiting us. It can await for us now if we control the mind and immediately practice, but that's difficult. So this verse, this purport, speaks about relationship, how Krishna enjoys us. He enjoys to be with us. He wants to be with us, and he suffers when he's not with us. It's difficult, like a parent. What was that? Prabhupada said, I don't know what it was. It's like, anyways, Prabhupada was saying, like, if you give 10 rupees, he'll give you 12 rupees. He was saying how Prabhupada's always giving more. He'll give always 100% more. And also he suffers when we leave him and when we don't serve him. We don't understand that, but we're creating suffering for Krishna in his heart because Krishna is a person. So this verse shows how Krishna enjoys. Please take me out of the hole. Please fix my temple. Please feed me. Please spread my Krishna consciousness all around the world. Not that Krishna can't do it. He can do all these things. So easy to do for him. He could have given a heart attack to Duryodhana. Everything would be finished. Heart attack, bum, 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 finished. Or he does a hurricane, or a storm, or a tidal wave. Everything's finished, but it would be no fun. He wants to fight. He gets his devotees, and he engages in chivalry and fighting, and he enjoys that. The same way we enjoy relationships. This is what Krishna likes. So this purport emphasizes that Krishna is self-sufficient. He doesn't need anyone. But what is the main characteristic of his self-sufficiency? Is his dependence. He wants to be dependent. He wants us to take care of him. He's born, and the parents said, oh, Kamsa's going to kill you. Kamsa's going to kill you. Who can kill Krishna? But he's creating that thing, that yoga maya. So our ontology, you understand? Ontology means what is our original position? Is servitude. So that will never change. We'll always be servant. By psychologically, Krishna changes the psychology of the mind, so even though we serve in different ways. So sometimes we'll serve as a lover, or whatever our positions are, we'll serve in that way. Okay, Hare Krishna. Any questions or comments? Oh, we have finished 1:45, so I left 5 minutes in case there's questions. It's interesting, no? It's pretty amazing how self-sufficiency is dependent. Who would choose, if you're self-sufficient, would you like to be dependent? And from a material point of view, no one wants to be dependent like that. No question, no comments? Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for your class. And I have a question that if Krishna wants so much that we are back with him, that
we are what?
That he wants to enjoy with us and he wants us back with him, why are we here?
Because our desire.
But he's very powerful, so why are we?
Yeah, but that's the thing with the gun. He can't force you. Because you have minute independence. Like our children, we want them home, we want them to be good kids, we want them to do all these things, but ultimately they have their own karma, they have their own positions. We can't force them. It would be no fun to force someone to love you. Okay, he loves us so much. Like, for example, I was telling my mom when I was long, I want a cat, I want a cat, I want a cat. And she said, no, 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 you won't have a cat, you won't have a cat, you won't have a cat. Finally, she did buy a cat for my birthday. She knew that. Finally, she said, yeah, I bought you a cat. So that's what Krishna does. I want to go, I want to go. No, no, don't go, don't go. No, I want to go. Okay, okay. Then he creates the world to satisfy what we want. You want to enjoy? Here you go, enjoy. But at the same time, he leaves us go back. Or the child says, I want to cook, I want to cook, I want to cook. But you're 5 years old, you can't cook. Okay, they buy these plastic cookers. Oh, I'm cooking. So happy. Ramchandra, give me the moon, give me the moon. How can you get the moon? Okay, take the mirror, look the moon, that's your moon. Oh, I'm very happy I had the moon. So we get in, Krishna puts us in illusion like this. Oh, you want all this? Okay, you can't do it with me. Here's the world, play over there. And when you're ready, come back. But he can't force. Any other question or comments? Jai Prabhupada, thank you very much. All goes to Prabhupada.